Welcome back to Blatherskite with yours truly, Mike Bergeron, and I'm here to break down my 2021 NFL predictions. So stay with me. The way we're going to do this is pretty simple. We're going to break down team by team, division by division. And we're going to start off from the bottom and work our way to the top. Let's not waste any time. We're starting out with the New York Jets.
Actually, a great coach. I think he's a great person. You know, there's no question about that. Just and he's very handsome.
2-14 last year. 2-14 last year. Had the worst offense in the NFL. 279 total yards. And I'm not hating on the Jets, and I'm not hating on New York. But that is not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. 1.36 points per drive. A league low 38 red zone trips and only converted 42% of those red zone trips, that's also a league low, into touchdowns. They gave up a league high 1,105 yards against tight ends and 14 touchdowns. Now, what do? You fire Adam Gase. That's the first thing you can do. It's the best decision. You can only go up after that. Adam Gase, if you're watching, sorry, not sorry at all. You bring in Robert Saleh. I don't know how to pronounce his last name right, so we're just going to Saleh that thing. Okay, he comes from San Francisco, and when he was in San Francisco, defensive coordinator, they gave up a league low 481 yards against said tight ends. Also, the offense, as atrocious as it is, guess who they bring in? Mike LaFleur. Younger brother to Matt LaFleur. Hopefully they can get something going there with who else other than Zach Wilson. I'm telling you right now, he is electrifying as it gets. Who else did they add to help Zach Wilson out? They had Keelan Cole Sr. with Jacksonville and Minshew Mania and whatever they got going over there in Jacksonville, or had going on in there in Jacksonville. 642 yards and 5 touchdowns. Corey Davis, nearly 1,000 yards. Just was an odd man out of Tennessee. Them boys knew they wanted to get Julio a long time ago, probably. 984 yards and 5 touchdowns. 15.1 yards per reception. Okay? Corey Davis, high draft pick, I believe. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was a high draft pick. He was a first rounder. He'll help. Jared Davis, Lamarcus Joyner, Carl Lawson, and Sheldon Rankins. All you who-dats out there know who Sheldon Rankins is. When he was on the field, he got stuff done. He did get injured from time to time, but we love our big guys over here. David Onyemata. I'm watching you, buddy. I'm watching you. Anyways, back to the Jets. They lose Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, Brashad Perriman, and Brian Poole. Another note, Zach Wilson, the 3 quarterbacks on this Jets roster, I got to read these names. I'm reading a lot of this stuff if you haven't figured it out yet. James Morgan, Mike White, and Zach Wilson have a combined 0 passes thrown in the NFL. So you better believe Zach Wilson's starting day one, in my opinion. You going to start one of the other guys over him? They've never thrown a pass in the NFL before either. Start Zach Wilson. How else do you fix it? Get yourself an offensive lineman to protect your most valuable asset. Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC, one of the best guards that came out of that draft. Elijah Moore, 5'8", but 4.35 speed coming out of Ole Miss. That will help as well. They've got weapons over there in New York. They've got weapons to help out the young buck. And Michael Carter, the running back, 5'8", all 201 pounds of him. Runs a lot, very balanced runner. Reminds me of Alvin Kamara a little bit in his style. He just doesn't like to go down. And he was productive. 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns at North Carolina. I think that the Jets take the steps in the right direction. They're headed in the right direction. They're going to be better. That being said, they're only going to win 5 games. 5-12. It's 3 more wins than last year. Like I said, they went 2-14, but we got the new 17-game schedule coming up. Better team. They're on their way. You've addressed the offense tremendously. Next up, your Miami Dolphins.
How would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois, but thank you for asking.
Nothing but mammals, baby. Let's go. Miami Dolphins were actually really good last year. They had Ryan Fitzmagic, and a little bit of Tua. Tua showed us some highs and some lows, some good and some bad. But they were the 22nd ranked offense last year and the 20th ranked defense. They did have bright spots on defense, Xavier Howard specifically. Although I think he's on the trade block or something. I mean, I can't stay up on all the news, people. I can't stay up on all the news. Anyways, Tua averaged 5.41 net yards per attempt. Not very good. That's like 42-year-old Breeze numbers. You got to pump those numbers up, Tua. You got to pump those numbers up. And they got weapons. We're going to get into that. They promoted their running backs coach and their tight ends coach to share the offensive coordinator duties. So that definitely helps. Definitely helps. Everything points to make everything easier for Tua. What additions did they make? Malcolm Brown, running back from the Rams. DJ Fluker bringing in the right tackle. Brought in a cornerback, Jason McCourty. Benardrick McKinney, linebacker from Houston. Very productive, really good. And Will Fuller the fifth. They bring in Will Fuller the fifth from Houston. I mean, everybody's just running out of Houston. And if they're not running out of Houston, Houston's running them out of Houston. I think we figured that out by now. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's gone to the Washington football team, as they say. Shaq Lawson's gone, and Kyle Van Noy. We'll get to him in a little bit and the significance of that with New England. They address it in the draft. Jalen Waddle. So electrified. So good. Didn't win the Heisman like his little buddy that went to Philly, but we'll get to him later as well. Jalen Waddle, they bring in Jalen Phillips, defensive end out of Miami. Should be very good for them. And I think it was a second or third round pick, but Javon Holland, safety out of Oregon. I think he'll have to earn a spot to start for that team, but that boy can hit. He's not even that big. He's like 201 or something like that. Maybe a $199, soaking wet. But that boy hits. Does he hit? The most interesting part about this team is the wide receiver trio. Like everybody does, and rightfully so, talk about Cincinnati now that Jamar Chase is there with T. Higgins and is it John Ross still? I don't even know. But this trio of Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and now Will Fuller the fifth. I mean, if you want to help the guy, that's how you help the guy. That being said, they still got a losing record. I think they're going to, if there's a way that you can lose more games, but still get better, I think that this is the way. Maybe this is the only exception. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. Some of you people might think I'm crazy. And maybe I think you're crazy. But you know what? They go 8-9. They miss the playoffs again. But I think they're headed in the right direction. And you might hear me say that a lot. They might be headed in the right direction. And now we're off to what possibly might be the most interesting team in the NFL. And some people are going to hate that I say that. I'm no Patriots fan. But let's talk about where they were, where they went, and now where they're going. Or where they're at. Like, are you kidding now? The 2020 Patriots, 7-9, had quarterback problems. Cam didn't look good. They had the most players opt to not play because of COVID last year. And it showed. But all of the holes and all of the players gone, and these guys were still nearly a 500 team. That's insane. That's insane to think about. They still had a 14% turnover rate on opponents against opponents. That's the fourth highest in the league. With half the team not even there. They didn't even want to come to work this season. And Bill Belichick still got those boys ready. Are you kidding me? So what did they do? What did they do a year after not having Tom Brady and having struggles for the first time in my adult life? For sure, in my adult life. I'm only 33. What did they do? They went out and they absolutely owned free agency. I mean, by all accounts, they just bought everybody. They were like the Yankees of the NFL for one off season, because they typically don't do this. They don't like to pay guys. People go to New England at a discounted rate to win championships, and we might get back to that pretty soon if all of these pay off. Nelson Aguilar. Now, granted, it was his first season with these kind of numbers, but let's not forget this guy was a first-round draft pick. He has got a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He was definitely a disappointment for where he was drafted. Maybe 20th. I can't remember exactly where he was drafted. But it was first round for sure. 896 yards and 8 touchdowns. 18.7 yards per catch. Second in the league with Derek Carr. If Cam Newton gets his stuff together, or Mac Jones later in the season, if it doesn't work out for Cam, I think it's going to work out for Cam this season. I don't know how long he's going to be in New England, but I think Cam... And let's just continue. Hunter Henry, when healthy, played 14 games last year, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns with a rookie, Justin Herbert. What do you think Cam Newton's going to do? What did Cam Newton do with Greg Olsen all those years in Carolina? I think Hunter Henry might have a big year. You know who else might? Jonnu Smith, What did they do? They went by the best 2 tight ends in the league. Last year, the leading tight end for the Patriots, Ryan Izzo. Go look his name up. I had to. 199 yards, 0 touchdowns. They had Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry to this offense? You kidding me? Matthew Judon, 3 consecutive seasons of 7 or more sacks, is now on that Patriots defense. They get back Dante Hightower. They get back Jason McCourty. They get back Kyle Van Noy in free agency. Devon Godchaux to add depth to that defensive line. Okay? They did lose Julian Edelman. Patrick Chung retired. And Jason McCourty, he gone as well. But they did draft Mac Jones and Christian Barmore. 2 Alabama players. Mac Jones. Bill Belichick's 244-92 in New England. 244-92. The guy barely had a losing record last year, and now they bring all of these pieces right back into New England? Are you kidding me? These guys are coming back with a vengeance. I still think they finish second in the division, and they go 12-5 and make the playoffs. Goodness gracious, I need 11 stages of purification right now. Magnesium, potassium, and what? Calcium. I need all 3 of them. I'm losing my breath. I think I'm losing oxygen in my brain because I'm talking so much. I'm just talking so much. Anywho, level water. You can't get it anywhere else. New Orleans owned company. Buy it now. I mean, just go get you some level water. And if it's not at your local store, go to the next local store and go to the next local store until you find the level water and you drink it because it's just that darn good. On to the next one. On to the final one of the AFC East. And who I think is going to win it yet again, the Buffalo Bills.
Christian, no! Oh, no. Oh, I've never seen this. Look at this. Look at that! On the top of the ladder. The ultimate 3D from the Dudley boys.
13-3 last year. Number 2 offense. Their defense could get better. They were the 14th best defense, middle of the pack defense. I think they bring basically the whole defense back, which is good. 6.9 air yards per target, tied for the lowest given up. I think that defense has a good secondary. I mean, they just gotta, just put the nails in the coffin, right, for the rest of the league. They're so close and they're so young. Really. 1,567 yards on play-action passes. You knew the Bills were going to throw it, and they threw it, and Diggs, and he doesn't get enough credit, but Cole Beasley, they coming down with it. Like Clifford Franklin. You knew it. Diggs and Beasley alone, just the 2 of them, 2,502 yards. 12 touchdowns just by the 2 of them. They also had John Brown on the team. He gone. I'll get to that in a minute. He's gone. I think he went to Las Vegas with the Raiders maybe. Anyways, top 5 on offense in nearly every category in the league except for rushing. Every major category, I think they are top 5 offense, except for rushing. They were 20th. But they averaged over 4 yards a carry, so that's why. They successfully ran the ball when they did, and that's why the play actions work. You got to successfully run the ball, even if you pass it a bunch. Anyways, they didn't have a whole lot of offseason additions, but they did add, what better way to improve your passing game than add another pass catcher? Emmanuel Sanders. Back to you Saints fans. We only had him for a year, but man, really reliable. Played well when Breeze was hurt. I would have liked to see the guy stay. Just wasn't in the cards. We were like, $6 kajillion over the cap. We're good now, Mickey Loomis. We see you, dog. We love you, right? They lost John Brown, Tyler Kroft, Josh Norman. No major losses. Josh Norman on the tail end of his career. He's been getting stiff-armed and shoved around a lot lately. I like the guy. But he's gone. I think he's a free agent right now. He may be looking to come back. And no major losses. And what did they do in the draft? They addressed, I think, the only real needs that they had, and it might just be depth. Maybe that's their needs, depth. They had defensive end Greg Russo from Miami and defensive end Boogie Basham with their first 2 picks in the draft. And then their next 2 picks, they go straight tackle. Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa and Tommy Doyle out of Miami, Ohio. I don't know much about those guys, but the one thing I do know, 6'8", 311 pounds, and 6'8", 320 pounds. These boys are tall, and these boys are big, but they're not like 350. Massive human beings. Maybe they can get some more in a run game like that if it works out. This team was very close to getting the Bills Mafia to a Super Bowl. And it just didn't work out because Pat Mahomes had different plans. I think this team is back. I think this team is better. They go from 13-3 to 14-3, first in the AFC East. And Bills Mafia can throw themselves through tables in January because they're going to the postseason and they'll probably go far. That's all I got for the AFC East. That's all I got for right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next week where I tackle the AFC North. Let's just go straight with Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about the Ravens. Let's talk about the Browns. Let's talk about the Steelers. Are they going up or are they going down? Are we going to talk about the Bengals? Joe Burrow coming back with a vengeance? In my opinion, in your opinion, we don't know. But join us next week anyway. Huge shout out to Boot Crew Media for allowing me to do this. Huge shout out to Level Water. Because I'm going to tell you, at the volume that I talk at, and at the rapid pace at which I say my words, I need water and I need good water. So I'm really thankful for this Level Water. My goodness, I'm going to need a few bottles of this. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.